ownage of the wayward. Or someone actually reading what I posted and saying, oh, you raised some good points. Thanks for the info. It's pretty confusing. Yes, otherwise you and I wouldn't both be still looking up stuff as of right now. On my other channel, meanwhile on WAPTech, someone went out of their way to ignore the purpose of the video, the responses I gave, and basically no one learned anything except the viewer because of being able to have me isolate them from a cat fight or just people bickering and actually present some useful information. So we're going to do that today. Someone posted a set of comments. I'm not going to read them. I'm just going to read what we're going to call the keywords, the bullet points. An ancient artifact described something. We have to define ancient artifact. An equinox star. We have to define that. Alignment with our equinox, or that star aligns with our equinox. And of course, we have to define what that means. And a solar solstice zenith crossing a galactic plane shows it's impossible with precession and is proof of trepidation as a model for something. I'm inserting that last part, as a model. All of that has to be defined precisely because I can say the word work, and the word work can mean hundreds of different things. Forgive the speech impediment. I'm having a bad year, century, whatever. Anyway, here we go. Ancient or the oldest known human works, because artifact equals archaeological, historical, or culturally significant or insignificant human works. 3 million or so BC, we have stone tools at a specific quarry or location. 43,000 BC, we have limestone cave paintings that are representative of something else recognizable, or even if it isn't, it's meant to stand for something. Epic of Gilgamesh, 2000 BC or so, 2100 BC. Ancient means anywhere from 3 million years ago to 2,000 years ago to, if I mention the HP41CX half-nut calculator, 1983. Ancient is not a precision statement. Not mentioning what it is, the person says they found an ancient artifact on the net or in the backyard. We're missing some stuff here. Now, I'm not criticizing the person, but this is the beginning of what I did for an exchange of information. So I'm going to read back, besides those things I just gave you, what I gave this person about the treachery of defining things and not defining things. Equinox is defined, or is it defined, or if defined, as the following multiple statements. The moment when the sun appears above the equator or directly above the equator. The sun crosses the Earth's equator near the 20th of March and September. The sun appears to rise due east and set due west virtually everywhere on the planet at once. Or all of the above, or other. What about solstice? If defined as the day either hemisphere has the most or the least sunlight of the year by time, other than near the equator, and or when the sun is appearing to reach its most northerly or southerly excursion relative to the celestial equator, etc. Or on the celestial sphere, or the 21st of June and December, or all of the above. And why is there variation with equinox and not this? How, when, and where are you defining or assigning what you're calling a solar solstice zenith? Because of the solar solstice, if we're talking solstice, the day when either hemisphere, there's twice each year. And the solstice can be a short or long day. At zenith on longest day, let's say, depending on where you are, that'll be a different location, right? Well, no. That is literally supposed to be towards the sun during daylight, if you're talking about solar zenith. I found no definition for an equinox star. However, I found stars that are used to mark as a convenient looking dot to navigate the sky visually for a star for the equinox, but they're not precise, period. And please remember that we spent centuries having the year wrong by enough that we had to just go through and eliminate a bunch of days because we got the calendar wrong by like almost 2 weeks or something at one point. I don't even remember. I mean, I've mentioned it in dozens of videos, but I keep forgetting the exact number. It's even a basis for a conspiracy theory. That was the time that the Avengers came back. But anyway, what star aligns with an equinox? Is that what you're talking about? And then it was MUL in Aries? What is it? Now, these are questions I asked, and I'm presenting them to you. While the plane of the Milky Way appears to run north and south to the observer's horizon at midnight on the summer solstice, and again, you're deciding definition where on the Earth, because as the Earth is rotating on its axis, that's a different time of night, and it's moving its entire diameter of the Earth by 1 Earth diameter every 7 minutes as it's rotating on its axis around the sun. So if you're trying to be ultra precision about things, is observing things with just looking at the sky and getting alignments in some random place in Europe or Asia accurate enough when a 7-minute time delay puts you off by an entire planet in space? Let's move on. Next, as seen from the sun, not from the Earth can appear to cross the galactic equator twice every year, and the sun appears to cross the galactic equator twice a year. Galactic equator versus, we'll continue. Please note that the galactic plane isn't the galactic equator. There's different definitions. We, the Earth and Sun, won't pass through the plane of the Milky Way galaxy until 30 million years in the future. And it wasn't very recent that we did it. It kind of wobbles as we go around the equator. Currently, that's what we know, but it may not have throughout time. And it takes X number of million years to go around our entire galaxy. Our own little mini universe, as we use, that's where galaxy used to mean universe. Next, medieval astronomers' replacement of linear precession was to use a model of trepidation. Now, I'm not going to go into the definitions for this, but I want to make everybody aware of the fact that medieval astronomers also include various religious groups that got angry that they'd have to change their calendars. It became politicized. God, that sounds familiar. Oh, gee, it happens all the time, and that's how human beings deal with things. They turn everything into a Burma freedoms, or screaming political stuff, or screaming, "You're defying my God," when, of course, I don't believe in it. Name that religion, I don't believe in it. And your religion, if you have one, you don't believe in the other religions either. Do you defy their gods by existing? According to them, you do. Next, I want to point out that astrologers and soothsayers and advisors to kings that didn't pay attention or simply read something wrong would sometimes retrocon what they said and then claim that anybody saying otherwise is a fool and don't make the king look like a fool. All you have to do is appeal to someone's ego and you have power over them, the power behind the throne. Next, is there an inherent time bias when we best match test what we can actually observe as the position of objects in the sky over time? We have precession working out that we need over 25,000 years of time cycle before something can repeat. With trepidation, we have 7,000 years. And remember, let's go back up to the top. Yeah. The limestone cave paintings were 43,000 years ago, but it's only 2100 BC that we have one of the first works of literature, the Epic of Gilgamesh, which is responsible for causing lots and lots of copycats. It's like repeating something from a bunch of Batman movies and making a new story out of it because you forgot what the story name was and you just reinvent it. We remember the narrative as best we can. So a 7,000-year trepidation works out for somebody making a claim of, we are seeing this pattern. Please also see that astronomy must align to the sky. Outdated astrology and faith can't necessarily do so, and has been tossed aside as well, and or won't because but by my horoscope. And I'm not trying to be insulting to the person who made these comments. I'm just saying that this is a massive rabbit hole. I mean, virtually all of this is linked to commentary by the person and me back to them as a bunch of archives, and then a metric F-ton of just Wikipedia articles. Now, I want to point out something. People say, you go play Wikipedia. I deal with truth. Truth is a bent-up word. It means you're lying to yourself. Wikipedia is not an authoritative source, but it has links in the bottom, and you have to go dig. It's a rabbit hole, but you have to go dig through previous versions, look for the last time someone deleted fucking everything, and see what someone tried to put in there, trying to inform you. It's not Wikipedia. It's the history they choose not to erase that you see is more useful. And here we go again with that expression. I don't choose to erase any of this. I link to it because it's a starting point. You're the one who has to go excursioning, spelunking, shoveling the shit on Wikipedia. First, because very often the links that have been deleted recently take you down the rabbit hole. Now let's discuss, after I posted all of that, and that's literally almost everything I posted. I guess I was thinking of comparing the sun's highest point in the sky, its zenith, on the day of the solstice every 4 years. But I see what you're saying. It's not so easy. No, and I said before, I know that the Earth is round. Proving it's round, not to the satisfaction of a person who will never accept any proof, but to a normal person, and showing them that they can do it, it's actually very hard to prove the Earth is round. You have to make a coordinated effort over a fairly large distance, 140 miles north, south, east, and west, not just 70. Because you have to, that's it, you just have to do it. Yes, there's a bunch of other shit you can do, but a visceral example that'll prove the Earth is round, you need 4 groups of people, 140 miles apart, east to west, and 140 miles apart, north to south, with someone all 4 of them trust in the middle. And everybody has to take measurements that are accurate down to 2 degrees to even show that the Earth could be round. And if they seek to deny this, you tell them to keep going and going and going and seeing if it's consistent. They have to be on relatively flat ground. But that's why I tell people, yeah, we all know the answers, but most of us are unwilling to go out and try because on a visceral, subconscious level, you know this is a pain in the ass to do. Some of you reading this would have to go read the definitions, just do the Wikipedia articles. Do you even know what the hell I just said? Including me. I mean, some of this shit is like, wow, I mean, I'm learning stuff, but it'll go in one ear and out the other. Now think about doing that on some very convincing website that's trying to tell you ancient aliens were here, or Bigfoot's literally the Loch Ness Monster or whatever. Yes, that's a Amazon Girls on the Moon or something reference. But the point is, I've totally visualizing something. The point is, doing this is hard, and I usually mock that, but no, it is hard. It's hard with everything. Everything's hard to do. And you kind of have to accept that. And you have to forgive other people for pointing out that you've made the mistake. I got told today I made a bunch of mistakes. The person wasn't listening to me, but that doesn't matter. Let's go on. I just saw that thing about the 4-year timing and thought it was quite a coincidence that right now, today, it crosses on solstice, but 100 years, it won't for another 1300. And I'm talking about MUL APIN star catalog. I don't have something to go look up. It referenced something, rise for the sign of the equinox. Yes, but it's mostly outdated or not, or has it been retroconned into what we already have? It works for Mesopotamians lat long today, but Mesopotamia only. But if you date it to its own time with precision, it fails. Because precision, based on how off? It's months off. Really? Do you know that we've modified calendars since then? And also, modern scientists and others make mistakes about timing. Anyway, you can read the person's comment. It'll be the only thing on the top of the video, and I'll have links to the rest of it. But this is an example of us not fooling ourselves into being wrong, but being tripped up by shit tons of stuff we've got to go look up. Hopefully I've been useful in this video to this individual and to you. And I have no idea whether I've debunked something, propped it up, or just we're all in agreement that we need to learn better. And yeah, thank you. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck.